fglongatt. Creating the future now.
Hello everyone and welcome back to your YouTube channel and welcome to this very interesting and short video. So as you must be aware, some of my students in power systems and energy engineering and also electrical, electronic and communication engineering, they are taking some classes where they need to calculate the power flow. So as we presented in the previous videos, we are using several tools, including the Excellent Power Factory, but today this video is related to one of those open access software, as you must be aware, PandaPower. In previous videos, I showed you how to use web-based IDEs like the Google Colab. Also, I show you how to install PandaPower inside this amazing IDE coming from Google. And also, I show you that you can use PandaPower for different type of calculation. So what is the job today? Well, the job today is very simple. As you must be aware, here in this amazing GitHub, this is my personal GitHub where I deposit many of my files in order that anyone can get access over there and they can take advantage of them. So inside the repository, the public repositories, there is one specifically dedicated for my students of energy engineering technology. And as you can see, this is APE 650, is energy engineering and technology, and here there are several folders inside this repository. Today we are working with this one. You can see over there, let me zoom in. You can see that the name is PandaPower. So inside, you can see that there are different files, and those files are basically files that you can use to run the Python-based software PandaPower. In particular, and in specific, you can use those files to run calculation of classical power flow and also optimal power flow in the very well-known System 9 bus system. So this repository originally was created for the study cases for the files that they can be used inside Jupyter Notebook. However, the second edition you can see over here is pretty fresh, is 2026. And the version 2 is basically dedicated for my students for 2026. So they can run these amazing files into this web-based IDE that is called Google Colab, okay? So let me explain very briefly, very fast, what is the content of those files. So as you can see, we are using the classical 9-bus system. It's a very traditional power system that has been introduced by our colleagues of P.M Anderson and Fuat in that amazing book, Power System Control and Stability. To be honest, this is a modified version of the original P.M Anderson 9-bus system. I will not criticize that. However, you must understand that this is a very specific version, okay? It's a modified, it's not identical to the one that you will see in the book. However, the structure is the same, okay? As you can see over here, there are 9 buses. You can see the blue points over here. They represent the nodes. You can see that there are 3 loads over here, but also 3 generation unit. Two of them are basically synchronous generators, and this one at the bottom left-hand side is basically the representation of the slack bus bar, and basically is the external grid, okay? So in this repository, we have two different files. One of them is to run the classical AC power flow, and the other one is to run the optimal power flow. So when you are running the optimal power flow, of course, you need to have the cost function for the generation units. So you need to know how much is the cost of producing each one of the megawatts coming from those amazing generation units. Over here, there are a couple documents. I highly suggest that you have a look. This is a publication cost function for generation dispatching in microgrids for non-interconnected zones in Colombia. This is a publication that you can see some function cost, especially for renewables. And here, this is a publication of my former PhD student and very good collaborator, Lee Nam Pham. Basically, the title is Real-Time Cyber Physical Power System Testbed for Optimal Power Flow Study using Cost Simulation Framework. This paper, 2024, to be honest, is quite amazing. Lee Nam created a framework for real-time simulation using Typhoon Hill, but he used PandaPower as a favorite software for using those power flow and optimal power flow calculations, okay? So here inside the GitHub, you can access the files. Let me see at least the power flow case. You can see over here, I am opening over here, and you can see the file, okay? You can see the full file over here, but you cannot run it here. What I suggest is that you download this file. So you can download this file and put inside your Google Drive. Because when you have this file inside your Google Drive, you will be able to run inside Google Colab. So that is the next step. So I suggest my students that they download this file over here, PF case9 2, and also OPF case9 2, okay? So I suggest that they download that file. I already did it. And now what you need to do is, we are here inside this amazing web-based IDE, and this is Google Colab, okay? I will press here, File, Open Notebook, and now what I will do is, let me open here, open Notebook, and I will import the power flow, okay? So as you can see right now, I am importing the file. Now I am connected to the server, and I will be able to run this file. So there is a button over here that say Run All. So if you press over there, you can see that now we run the full code, okay? So each part of this file has a proper explanation and the results, because we already run the power flow. So the first part of this script is basically import the relevant packages. You can see NumPy, Pandas, of course, PandaPower, but also Matplotlib, that is a very nice library for plotting, okay? As you can see, we are importing here one of the predefined study cases inside PandaPower. In this case, we are importing case 9, and that is basically a modified version of the P.M Anderson system, okay? You can see that now we are plotting using this method that is called simple plot. You can see that we can see over there the 9-bus system, okay? We can see the content of the net. We can access this data frame, and you can see 9 bus elements, 3 loads, 2 generators, 1 external grid, 9 lines, and 3 cost functions, okay? We can investigate the content of each one of those data frames. For instance, for the bus bar, you can see that there is a column for the rate voltage and also one column for if the system is in service or not, maximum and minimum voltage in per unit, and also the geographical coordinates. Geographical coordinates is quite useful, especially if you are running load flow for distribution system. You want to have a graphical representation with the proper geographical location, so PandaPower allow you to do that. We can assess here, you can show here the different loads. You can see a column for the active power in megawatts, and also you can see a column over there for the reactive power. Similar situation, we can see over here the active power generation for the generator 1 and 2, and also for the external grids. Regarding the cost function, inside PandaPower, you can use several ways to represent the cost function. However, for my students, I usually suggest that they use the polynomial cost function. And as you can see over here, CP is basically the cost function. You can see that this is a polynomial expression. This is order 2. So there are 1, 2, and 3 coefficients. For instance, the coefficient C1 is the linear cost coefficient, and the units are euros per megawatt, okay? So you can see here the cost representation, the cost function, and now it's time to run the power flow. So here inside PandaPower, the power flow is basically a method. So if you go over here at the very beginning, I import PandaPower and I say import PandaPower as PP. So I can apply this method to the object PP and I will get the load flow. So basically this line 39, what it's telling you is that we are running a AC load flow on the data contained in the net. We are using the Newton-Raphson algorithm with a flat initial condition. Flat initial condition means that for all the voltages, we are assuming 1 per unit at the very beginning. We have a maximum number of iteration of 20 and also a very low error for the calculation. The tolerance over here in MVA, you can see that is 1 exponent minus 8. Over here now, I am displaying you the bus results. So you can see the magnitude of the voltages. There is one bus bar number 8 that is quite low, 0.95 per units. You can see the different phase angles in degrees, and also the power flow, the power, active power and reactive power in each one of the buses. Similar, you can display the results for the lines. You can see the active power flow, the reactive power flow in both terminal of the branches, and also if you want to see, if you want to watch the value of the currents in kiloamps. For the optimization and also for the load flow is quite important the value of the total network losses. So over here, what you can see is that we are obtaining the line losses, the transformer losses, and also adding them, we obtain the total losses. And here we obtain that the total losses in this system is 4.95 megawatts, okay? So now I will show you, let me open over here, let me open a notebook. That is the optimal power flow. So over here, this is the case number 2, the optimal power flow. And you can see that this is the most recent version. This is the version 2026. The structure is similar. We import all the relevant packages. We are using the case number 9, the modified version of the 9-bus system. We are using the same cost function, and here you can see the value for the different coefficients. But basically here, what I am telling all of you is that I am using the method run OPP. And OPP means optimal power flow. So when you are solving the optimal power flow, of course, we are taking into consideration the cost function defined by each generator. So you can see here at the very end, you can see here the results for the buses, and here the power production of the generators. Also, you have here line results, and we have here the results for the losses. What is interesting over here is that you can see that the total active power losses is 3.92 and is lower compared with the previous solution that we obtained with the traditional power flow. And one of the reasons is, of course, because we are trying to minimize the cost of the generation, but at the same time, in that sense, we are modifying also the losses. You can see here the final display, and you can see the numerical value of the total cost in monetary units for this amazing system. So again, this is a very short video. The idea over here was to tell you how you can find the files that you will be using, but also to tell you that you can download them and you can import inside the amazing web-based IDE, and you can use specifically to calculate, to run classical AC power flow and optimal power flow using the software PandaPower. So we have reached the end of this video. I hope you find useful this video. I hope that you learn something. And if you like this video, please feel free to put thumbs up. I like this video. Also, if you have any question, drop an email or basically put a comment below in this video. And if you are a fan of this video, please subscribe to the YouTube channel. So finally, it's time to tell you thank you very much for watching, and the classical bye now.
fglongatt. Creating the future now.